Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Kiwanis Connects, coming to you live coast to coast. Doc Val, all the way out in California. Yours truly here in Virginia Beach. And just as we were getting ready to go on the air, Doc Val, I have breaking news. I don't know if you saw this, but I know a lot of people, especially out there in the LA area, has been losing sleep regarding what LeBron James is going to do now that he was a free agent, has left the Lakers. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're sitting down, or at least not driving a car, because I hate for you to hit a wall or a tree when I make this announcement. Is he going to Miami? No. Is he going to Cleveland? No. Is he going to the Warriors? No. Much to my surprise, he's going right up the coast from where I am to the 76ers. He is joining the Philadelphia 76ers and Joel Embiid and company. He's been saying that he's really not into it for the title. Well, if that's the case, certainly going to the 76ers may help him with that, because I don't see them winning a championship for his last year. But that's a whole nother story. That is breaking news. So let's get back to reality. Thank you for watching us today and tuning in here on Kiwanis Connects. Coming to you live on Facebook and YouTube as always. And you notice our windows are a little shy today.
Yeah.
That's because Doc Val and I, we're going to hold down the fort by our little old lonesomes today unless somebody jumps in. I don't know about Doc Val. How are you?
Aloha. I am doing great out here in sunny Monterey. We had 103 degrees yesterday, and I kept thinking, wow. And it's not even the middle of real summer here.
No. Well, right here in Virginia Beach, we had a lot of rain yesterday. Cold front came in. I don't even think I'm going to hit 80 degrees today, but I know this much. When I step off my plane on Monday, leaving Virginia Beach to Las Vegas, I kind of took a little peek. We're going to have 3 picket fences staring at me, 111 when I get off the plane on Monday in Vegas. No chance of rain. I'm bringing nothing but shorts, tank tops. Unfortunately, John reminded me to make sure I bring shoes. That's all I'm bringing. That's it.
Awesome. You know, it's always fun when we get to hang out together. And I know that the hot news that you provided makes going to be a big conversation for a lot of us out here.
Yes.
Some of his biggest fans are watching the show. So hopefully that really was a sneak peek for them. As watching the show. So I know Chuggy went and watched his last game because they weren't sure if he was going to play again in LA. So they were actually there.
Yeah, actually, he's in the chat room. Chuggy, I'd love to get your thoughts on him becoming a member of the city of brotherly love.
Yes. But today I really wanted to, since most of our guests are either sick or not having any connectivity and all that kind of fun stuff. What I wanted to share today was a little bit about all of the activity that's going on across the Kiwanis world and our district conventions, and highlight some of the fun ones. And if you're not registered, you really want to be, because some of these conventions are going to be the best they've ever been. So I'm excited about that. But first, let's talk about your background versus my background. What's going on here?
Yeah, this is the new show background that Mr. John, why don't you pop in there? Because I know you got on your background also. John worked a little bit on it for us, updated it, and I love it. I love the new look, the logo in the middle. And then he pointed out to me that with me sitting in the middle, you can't see the word Kiwanis, but if you look across the banner, across the top here, Kiwanis is there, and then on each side, pretty much is like almost the objects of Kiwanis. I mean, and then really what ties it all together, John, and you could talk about it. What did you do behind the words back there outside the window?
Well, I wanted to kind of upgrade and do something because of we now have our own IT person, the international trustee. And so outside of the window, I wanted to show how Kiwanis is connected across the globe. So that's where all those little lights and the lines going back and forth to kind of tie it all together. So yeah, I thought it was time and I thought you deserved something to celebrate. How's that?
Oh, it looks fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And then the fact that it does connect the world together, that's what we've been all about. It's so cool.
Just trying to get out of the way for the logo.
So as soon as I can figure out how to upload mine without dropping off the screen, I will do that.
There you go. There's also, this is the stage background, but for those who saw my promo post, we also have a new show logo, not just what you all see behind Val right now is what I had been putting up as part of the promo post, just in case you needed a reminder. It was Kiwanis Connects. Well, John was kind enough to put something a little different together for us. And so you can go to the Kiwanis Connect show page. You can go to my pages. You can go to any of the pages that are out there and see the new logo that has Val and I there and information about the show and a little bit of everything. I really like that. It's just, and John has done a great job updating all the logos, not only for Kiwanis Connects. He's done it for Aaron's Hour. We got some new stuff to present and share. Schmoozing with Rabbi Ari is coming down the pike with some new stuff. And so John is really taking it. I think he's really practicing with AI, Val. I think we've just become guinea pigs for AI for him.
Well, I'm trying to increase my knowledge about what I'm doing so that I can do more effective shows.
Well, why start now, John?
Well, it just figures the clock's ticking, and if I don't do it now.
Oh, I see. I got you. Makes sense.
There are a lot of clubs that only meet on Zoom. And I think this is one of the skills that a lot of these clubs should be designing so that they have a cohesive look for their clubs and doing backgrounds. So how difficult was it, John, for you to put together the backgrounds for us?
This one actually took about 6 or 7 hours because it would, you have to, with AI, I don't know if any of you remember the old garbage in, garbage out.
Mm-hmm.
So you give it an instruction, it will give you here's the picture you asked for. Mm-hmm. Well, no, then you have to go back and that's not right. Let's move this. Let's put this here. Let's add this. And so it's kind of a process. But one thing I found early on in working with AI, and I don't remember who told me this, but if you simply say, hey, Chat GPT or whatever you're using, how can I best interact with you? What are the things that I can do to make this interaction easier? And it will tell you things along the way. And then if you ask it, as we go forward doing this, can you remember this and remind me of this? And it will actually do that when you're working on projects and stuff. So it's a learning process. To me, it's very advantageous, but I can see where it can be incredibly dangerous as well. So we're doing a show later today on Cybersecurity Awareness TV about the pros and cons of AI. So Mac Jackson Jr. he's a cybersecurity. He's got his doctorate in cybersecurity. So hopefully he's got some good hints for us to keep us out of trouble. So
yeah,
that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I bought some materials about ChatGPT and all of that, and one of them that I got was actually about prompts. And the ultimate use with AI, folks, is to remember that it's only as good as the information that's available on the internet for AI to pull everything together.
Yeah.
So if you ask for something, you should still especially if it's informational. I mean, pictures and things like what John has been doing, you have a greater chance of it coming out the way you want it as long as you give it the right instruction. Right. But if you're doing research on something and you're asking it for certain information, it's only as good as what's out there that it's going to pull from. So you still should do something to make sure to a certain extent that you feel comfortable with the information you're getting back.
Yeah. Well, I work with a group called Our Nevada Judges, and there are or have been some attorneys who have used AI in preparing some of their briefs, and they go into court and find out that some of the information that they've been provided does not exist. They call it hallucinating. And So they present it to the judge, and the judge goes, "Wait a minute, this case does not exist. Where did you get this information from?"
Mm-hmm.
So you have to check your work. It's just like anything else, you got to check your work. So, but it's fun.
Yes, I've seen a lot of students do that for moot court. They will, at the very last minute surprise for a student, they'll put in the cases that they're going to be arguing for the day. And then when they bring things forward, it's just like, it says February 2, 2028. You really might want to correct your work. Move on.
But you also have to remember, there is a lot of information out there. So, I mean, it's basically only limited by your own imagination, if you're using it for play. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Herman. Herman John says, great job on the new background.
I know.
John, nothing like your humility, John. Gotta love it.
Hey,
good morning,
that's my best attribute is my humility.
John Brummer, good morning. And Chuggy did reply. She says, excited for LeBron and we'll miss him. Interesting choice with the Sixers. And as you mentioned, Val, glad to have witnessed his last home as a Laker. So in case you didn't hear, you're just joining us, LeBron James is coming to the East Coast. He's going to Philadelphia. He's becoming part of the 76ers. Okay, a couple of things on tap for today, as Val mentioned at the top. As we're getting ready to turn the calendar to August, we're talking, convention time, decons all across the globe. We'll talk about, actually, some of them are actually kicking off this weekend, I believe, or next weekend, the 22nd, or this past weekend, whatever. There's stuff going on, okay? So we're gonna hit on a lot of that stuff. I've got the Capital District coming up on August 22nd. I know Cal Neva's coming up, I think, the week before that. We've got Mental Health Moment with Melissa coming up. We have, of course, Val's Wow Moments. And I have Bad Dad Jokes, which, quite frankly, with me coming out to Vegas, I couldn't miss the opportunity. I've got about a half a dozen Las Vegas casino Bad Dad Jokes coming. John Carper, come to Kiwanis Connects. We're all... yes. Listen, John Crawford, with everybody being laid off at ESPN nowadays, maybe Val and I and John have a shot to become part of their new reporting team out there, right? I mean, who knows? So anyway.
Hey, we can use AI to dig up some sports news, right?
Oh, heck yeah. And we can even make some shit up. No one will know the difference. I'll tell you what, we are at quarter after. So in lieu of starting any news about decon, what do you say we jump out for a quick break? We'll come back, start fresh, and on the other side, Doc, what do you think?
Sounds really good. Let's go.
All right, let's do it. Hey, don't go to...
Imagine being able to golf no matter the weather or time of day. Well, now you can at Back 9 Great Bridge in Chesapeake. Grab your clubs and swing by for the next level of golf. Back 9 is open 24/7, play on your own schedule, get pro-level swing data, and much more. Try St. Andrews, then Pebble Beach to test your skills. It's also a great way to start playing golf without the distractions, pressure, or cost of playing 18 holes outside. Back 9 offers individual and corporate memberships to fit your needs. Back 9 is now open at 500 South Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake. Visit our website for more information. Level up your game without stepping on the course with Back 9. Hi, I'm Hall of Fame broadcaster and local TV host Aaron Phillips. Are you interested in hosting a podcast? I offer a podcast seminar where I share the information you need to set up your podcast for success. Some of the topics that I cover include basic terminology, how to do a successful interview, who to target as a potential advertiser, and more. For more information, visit thevoiceof757.com or email me directly at aaron@thevoiceof757.com. Hey everybody, Aaron Phillips here from the Kiwanis Connects show. Are you trying to recruit for new members? Do you have a huge event coming up that maybe is your biggest fundraiser of the year? But you need to do something different to let people know that it's happening. The same old gives you the same old routine and results. Well, we've got an idea for you. The Kiwanis Connect show offers the opportunity to have customized commercials created to help your club get your message out. And you know what? One of the extra wonderful points of this opportunity is we provide it as a fundraising opportunity for every $50 donation for the commercial goes to the Rose Float Kiwanis Club. That's right. The very same roast float that we see on television every New Year's that represents Kiwanis International will now be supported by these Kiwanis Connects commercials. So, if you want more information and get involved, just drop us an email at kiwanisconnectsinfo@gmail.com. That's kiwanisconnectsinfo@gmail.com. Get your 30, 60, or 90-second customized commercial today, and let's help the Roast Float Kiwanis Club continue to plant its seeds for success.
All right, welcome back to Kiwanis Connects. Welcome back. Okay.
It's one of those Fridays.
Yeah, it is. One of those. I feel another book coming real soon about some of the behind-the-scenes conversations, even if it's in chat. Anyway, welcome to Kiwanis Connects. I figured out why I was kind of flummoxed on the dates before, because I'm looking at my calendar on the other side of the studio, and it's part July and part August.
Mm-hmm.
And then the information you sent me, the dates that are on there, is not the actual convention dates, but they're call dates, which means that's the date that people are expected to start showing up. So I'm looking at July 22nd for Kathy down in Texas, Oklahoma for this weekend. But I'm looking at my calendar on the wall, and the 22nd is showing August 22nd, not July. And that's a Saturday. I'm like, that's why I got flummoxed before the commercial. That's my new favorite word of the day today, by the way, flummoxed. Anyway,
I love it. I love it.
Anyway, all right. So this is the start of the busy season, right? I mean, we know the administrative year doesn't end until September 30th when everybody takes office October 1st. But it just seems like Kiwanians at this time of year, Val, can almost, I don't want to say get lackadaisical, but maybe pull back on the reins a little bit, because we're thinking conventions, we're thinking New Year, we're thinking elections, we're thinking everything else. But yet we still have 2 more months left of the current administrative year where we could kick some booty in hours and dollars and projects and everything else. How do we get our Kiwanis members to stay the course while we get excited for conventions in the new year?
Well, I think that's part of the reason why conventions happen right now, because people get really lax as they get to summer. And so you get so motivated when you go to a district convention that all of a sudden you're going, I have 9 weeks. I can go do this. I have 6 weeks. We have the power to do so much before September 30th. And so there's a lot of motivation to do that. That's why we attach our brand new team to the district conventions that are really highlighting what's happened in the last year, so that there's that continuity in the process. And so I think it works out really, really well. But, like with Texas, Oklahoma, they truly have 9 more weeks once their convention is over to be able to meet all of their membership goals and to be able to move forward, which I think is exciting.
Now, it's interesting. I'm going to kind of go off a little bit on the Texas, Oklahoma area, because it's also known as like Tornado Alley, and weather conditions at this time of year can get a little silly. Do they purposely kick off the year, so to speak, every year, number one? And number two, is it early enough in the summer where Mother Nature doesn't potentially become an issue for convention attendees?
Well, I think that part of it is all the weather and everything, but it's also when can they get the best opportunity at the best price and value where they're going to have their convention. Because later on in the season, it's very expensive to go to a convention in some of these locations. So with Texas, Oklahoma, they sometimes do it even earlier than this, depending on when international convention is, because that's where their business meetings are. That's when all the education occurs. And it's so important because in Texas, Oklahoma, they do a great job recruiting teachers. Most teachers' schools start in the beginning of August, and they would miss the opportunity to be a part of this.
That makes sense. That's like out in John's neck of the world out there in Las Vegas. I mean, they start within the second week of August, so they can end early before the 115-degree temperatures come in May and June. So I get that planning. So Kathy kicks it off. You've got one coming up the week after for Louisiana, Mississippi, and West Tennessee. You're assigned to that convention with a call date of the 29th. So in your role as a counselor, let's talk about it from that perspective. What do you do as a counselor to aid an upcoming convention? What's your specific responsibility?
Well, I can tell you that it's a lot busier than it looks on paper. I was absolutely floored. There, because as an international trustee, when you're going to be a district counselor, you're not just a counselor to the governor. You are also a support system to the district secretary and executive director. And you need to actually interact with all of the clubs. And that was one of the surprise things that I learned, that there is an expectation that clubs and lieutenant governors have an opportunity to spend time with their district counselor. So if you see that person hanging out, they're there for you.
Right.
I got lucky. I have 2 different districts that I'm visiting next week. And so I actually start in, Missouri, Arkansas. And I will be attending their lieutenant governor training and meetings all day on Thursday before I get to go to Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee. And that one I have to share with you.
Flip that according to the schedule you sent me.
Yep.
I don't want you to go to the wrong one.
They changed their date midstream, so it's not on the calendar.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
Val,
you're going to be in the wrong place. You're going to be very lonely that week. Based on what you emailed me, I'm like, okay, gotcha. All right.
I know. And that's why it's so important. All of our districts have their district conventions posted on the web. And so making sure that you know what's going on, because sometimes with the weather, with the fires, with the flooding, things change. And so it's important that you check in on a regular basis. It's important to be sharing information. I know that when we had COVID going on, there were a number of changes, and it was changing daily to make sure that places are safe, that they are accommodating, and that it's easy for us to be able to do the work that we need to do.
Sure.
So the Missouri, Arkansas district has made that change, and I'm looking forward to being with them, but I'd only get to be with them for a short period of time.
Right.
And then as I'm heading over to, it's right outside of New Orleans in Kenner, which makes me so excited because it has the full Mardi Gras feeling. And if you've ever been to a district convention, you really want to, at some point in your lifetime, go to a Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee convention. It was the first time I ever went. It was the most exciting district convention I'd ever been to. And I thought that I had put on a pretty darn good one. So, yeah.
Which you did, by the way.
Yeah.
And then after that, you go to Wisconsin and Upper Michigan, up in Bob Larson's neck of the woods up there. So you're going from the heat, humidity, mugginess of the Southwest and Tornado Alley, and then you get to cool off a little bit up in Wisconsin and a part of Michigan.
Absolutely. I get to go to Milwaukee, and I am so looking forward to it. The only thing we're not doing that I hear that they do is axe throwing.
Oh. Well, you can insert your joke here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
But the thing is, the reason why I share that they do axe throwing at theirs is because while Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee has this whole formalized process, and it fits with all the different communities and cultures that are in that district, Wisconsin and Upper Michigan also are very, very reflective of what their clubs are all about. And so you won't see many people walking around in suits and being all formal. It's really about family and all the different pieces of what goes on with being a family. So they have events that are at the local zoo, and it's called Family Day, so that you can bring all of your family to Wisconsin. And it may be the first time all summer that you've done something as a whole family, because they're very active with the local state fairs and all that kind of stuff. So they're very busy in summer. And so this is bringing everybody back together. They also have a family game night. And I'm supposed to dress it's family game night. You're supposed to dress in theme. I have no idea what that means.
Family game, what are some of the games that you used to play as kids? Monopoly, Twister, cards, right?
Yeah.
Right. Go fish, go dress as a fish. Finding Nemo. Finding Val. Finding Val.
Where's Val?
Where's Val? No, that's Waldo. We got to be careful that we don't cross lines. Wait a minute. Here's one that'll be interesting. You wouldn't even have to go to any of these events. You know why? Do you remember the kid? Do you remember the kid game called Invisible Man, Invisible Tag?
Yes.
Well, so if you dress up to play Invisible Tag, you don't even have to show up. You can pretend you're in costume and not even go. You'd be invisible at the party. Not even. Yeah, of course I was playing Invisible. I was dressed as the Invisible Tag Man. You don't even have to show up. See, this is the way my brain works. Anyway, John Brummer asked a question in the chat room. He asked, "Will you be at Cal Neva's Decon, or will you be at another district?"
So that is going to be a "Where's Valdo" kind of moment. I will be in.
Wait a minute. Did you just say "Where's Valdo"?
I did.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love "Where's Valdo." I love that. I can see T-shirts coming. "Where's Valdo" coming this year.
One of my staff members used to say, it's just like "Where's Valdo" on campus. And so it just kind of stuck. But Valdo is that week is going to be a fun week for me because I will actually be in Sparks, Reno on Tuesday and Wednesday and leaving late on Thursday. So if you're in at the CNH Decon, it's in Sparks. And if you show up on Wednesday night, or if you're at the board meetings or for the Children's Fund or CNH board meetings, I will be there. But I am hopping on a plane right after the last set of board meetings so that I can head up to Springfield, Missouri.
There you go.
Yeah.
So there you go, John. So if you're going to see Val, you got to make it a quick one.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but I'm also doing kind of a happy hour hospitality suite on Wednesday. So because I want to say thank you to everybody in Cal Neva that showed up at International Convention and was so supportive and being able to elect me and make it possible for me to support other districts. And John, I miss you too. And so I'll see you in your division later on during the year. So
my division?
Well, actually in John's division.
Oh,
I'm trying to figure out how to come see you.
Well, your question to me via text the other day about a spot in New Jersey had me wondering.
We were thinking about coming in and helping support open a club, but they have it all wrapped. They're doing so well.
Okay.
And so that would be Nathan Kyle, who's an incoming governor for your district. So.
Well, I'm going to say this out in front of the world. You don't need a reason, right? Okay. I just wanted to clarify that. That's all. In front of the world. In front of the world, I've declared my love for you and Andy. You don't need a reason to come to Virginia Beach. Okay, but you already knew that. So Capital District. Listen, what's unique about Capital, and we had Taka Ogata. He's the gentleman that is the counsel over Capital District, and we had him on our show a while back. So it'd be great to catch up with him in person. But Eileen and I have never been to Annapolis, obviously. One of the great things that the district is doing on the Friday early part of the day before all the festivities kick off, for $15 a person, we're actually going to be able to take a walking tour of the base out there. As part of the Kiwanis activities. That's our fun thing out there. But Eileen and I are actually traveling out on the Monday, the 17th, beforehand, so that we can kind of soak in Annapolis on our own for a couple of days. So have you ever been to Annapolis yourself?
I have, but it's been so long ago. When I was a recruiter for a university in Colorado, I had an opportunity to come out there, but I have never been on base.
Whoa, we getting a walking tour.
Wow.
So
very, very cool.
For all of you folks, anybody who's been to Annapolis, my wife and Eileen and I, we can look up stuff online till the cows come home and drive ourselves nuts just to try to figure out what's there. I am openly taking suggestions on things that we should be able to see or that you recommend we do, or restaurants. You can post them on the Kiwanis Connects Facebook page. You can message them direct to me on Facebook, or if you want to just email them to me, kiwanisconnectsinfo@gmail.com. I'll take any suggestions because we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, probably all of just about Thursday. But here's the beauty. We're staying at the DoubleTree by Hilton Hotel in Annapolis, and that's where the convention is. And so I like making things easy in my life. So I called ahead to the hotel over there, and I spoke to a wonderful person in the sales department. I said, hey, I'm coming out there for the convention. I'm registered, but I really don't want to go from one hotel to another hotel and pack and move. What would be the chances I can get a room for the entire stay from Monday through Sunday and get it extended to me for the convention rate, the extra days I'm going to be there? Once I told them who I was, yeah, right. They said, not a problem, Mr. Phillips. Yeah, right. Yeah, don't I wish? So I want to thank the folks at Doubletree. I'm going to be staying there Monday, the 17th, through the convention on that Sunday. And they were kind enough to extend the convention rate for me for all 7 days of my stay rather than changing the rate. So thank you very much. So we're really looking forward to that. I will take any and all suggestions.
And you know, one of the things about the different places that we choose, they are so family friendly and they really want to work with us. Kiwanis brings a whole new energy to any city and town that we visit. So being able to spend that extra time and invest in the local community, maybe even catch a Kiwanis meeting.
Oh, yeah. I'll have to find out what their schedule is. Yeah. I'll have to see what's over there. It'll be great if they're in the Doubletree. That'll even be extra convenient.
And so, you know, one of the things we had talked about a little bit was, what does an international trustee do while they're there? We all make sure that there's a consistent message that goes out. And one of the things that we're talking about this year is really making sure that all of your members in your community know the value of Kiwanis. And that you're not just resting on old traditions and not moving in new ideas and making new impacts. So all of the international trustees and the board will go out and make the same presentation. And then we'll do custom things for the different districts based on what they need. But it's most important that everybody knows we're there to be a support member. We're not there to tell them what to do. Because I think that that's what causes an us and them kind of mentality when you think, oh, there's someone from international coming. Ooh.
Right.
And it should be, there's someone from international coming. Woo!
Right. You want it to be you want it to be an exciting, because it's like, on our show over the years, I mean, we've had international presidents on, we've had some, and to me, I get all giddy about it because, I mean, how often you get an opportunity to really chat with prestigious position people, people in those prestigious positions. So when they do get to come to your conventions or conferences, it shouldn't be it should be a, yay, we get the opportunity to meet. So absolutely. I think that's a great way to transition.
Absolutely. And it's definitely my style. When I was governor-elect and I moved around, I actually attended almost 3/4 of our club's meetings, either by attending directly to the club or going to a district or division council meeting or something, because I really wanted to see what's going on and get a real feeling for what Kiwanis is all about. Because when you go to one club's meeting, it can be extremely different from the club that you go to tomorrow at another location. We all fit the needs of our local communities. So I'm really looking forward to going to Missouri and Arkansas, because their setup is extremely different from how it is in California, Nevada, Hawaii. And it's still even different from what I will experience in Wisconsin and Upper Michigan. And so for me to be able to speak the same language, which is Kiwanis, but in a different community, and learn what they're really amazing at, I'll be able to bring some more material on for us to talk about, maybe a couple extra guests.
Good. Yeah. Why don't you, looking at the schedule of decons and where all you counselors are going, the couple of days that Capitol has their district going on, I don't see Val's name being anywhere during that time. No call for that August 19th. So, Capitol District may be calling.
Well, I don't want to step on anybody's toes. So, you can make the invitation. Someone from Capitol District or Taka would need to make that invitation.
If you just?
Why you guys won't see Valdo popping up anywhere?
Why can't you just come as Val, the Kiwanis member, as a guest of another Kiwanis district coming, not in any official capacity, but coming as a guest, as a Kiwani. You happen to be in
I
the
still have to make sure it fits them because when I show up to places, I'm very rarely incognito or quiet.
You? Come on. You're the easiest thing to keep quiet in the world. Yeah. I'm just saying, maybe I'll put in. I have the contact for the convention director or whatever the official title. Maybe I'll drop a little note out there. Anyway, all right. I want to step aside for a break because I want to highlight. We speak a lot about the CalNEVA, conventions and conferences. I just want to share a little bit with the Capitol side. The House of Delegates is always a place that every convention changes bylaws and amendments and rules and regulations. We have one that I think a lot of districts have already addressed or like to address, and that's whether the lieutenant governor should be a president, past president thereof, of a club at all, let alone within the division if need be. So I want to talk about that a little bit and get your feedback. So listen, we got more to do. We have more discussion on decons. We have Val's wow moments, Melissa Atwell's message, Vegas bad dad jokes. I may not even be let into the city come Monday. But anyway, and all of you, come on back. We'll be right back after this.
Good morning. My name is Alejandro Hogan, and this year I'm the president of the Kiwanis Club for Literacy in Salinas. We're a small club, but what we do is we believe in literacy, and what better way to promote literacy than to come to different schools.
We go to schools where there are 4 first grade classrooms. That way we are able to distribute us as members to go in each classroom and give that 30 minutes of enthusiasm for the students to read and become engaged on that book.
Our goal is that they get a book once a month and they take it home. It doesn't stay at school, so that by the end of the year they have their own home library.
We need more people to believe in what we do, and we want you to join the Kiwanis Literacy Club of Salinas.
Hey everybody, Aaron Phillips here from the Kiwanis Connects show. Are you trying to recruit for new members? Do you have a huge event coming up that maybe is your biggest fundraiser of the year? But you need to do something different to let people know that it's happening. The same old gives you the same old routine and results. Well, we've got an idea for you. The Kiwanis Connects show offers the opportunity to have customized commercials created to help your club get your message out. And you know what? One of the extra wonderful points of this opportunity is we provide it as a fundraising opportunity. For every $50 donation for the commercial goes to the Rose Float Kiwanis Club. That's right. The very same Rose Float that we see on television every New Year's that represents Kiwanis International will now be supported by these Kiwanis Connects commercials. So if you want more information to get involved, just drop us an email at KiwanisConnectsInfo@gmail.com. That's KiwanisConnectsInfo@gmail.com. Get your 30, 60, or 90-second customized commercial today, and let's help the Rose Float Kiwanis Club continue to plant its seeds for success. Imagine being able to golf no matter the weather or time of day. Well, now you can at Back 9 Great Bridge in Chesapeake. Grab your clubs and swing by for the next level of golf. Back 9 is open 24/7, play on your own schedule, get pro-level swing data, and much more. Try St. Andrews, then Pebble Beach to test your skills. It's also a great way to start playing golf without the distractions, pressure, or cost of playing 18 holes outside. Back 9 offers individual and corporate memberships to fit your needs. Back 9 is now open at 500 South Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake. Visit our website for more information. Level up your game without stepping on the course with Back 9.
All right, welcome back to Kiwanis Connects. Thank you for joining us today, making us part of your Friday. Can't believe it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. I'll tell you that much. Steve Nagel just jumped into the chat room. You know what he's priming and getting ready for. But okay. So I want to talk about the amendment that Capital District will have. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the delegates that is hoped for by clubs is usually the president and the incoming president. Is that correct?
It's the president, incoming president, and usually it is past president. So you're
Okay.
looking at those three positions when you're talking about a district convention.
Now, hopefully, if those individuals are not able to go to convention to assume those roles of delegates, you want to have perhaps folks that are a little experienced within the world of Kiwanis, or if you have some new people going to convention and they want to experience being a delegate, then people who have some experience really should spend the time talking with a potential new member / new delegate and just kind of guide them through the process, what's expected, go over the amendments, make sure that they understand what the club is asking them to do, et cetera, et cetera. So, but traditionally, yes, it is mastered. So I want to just...
Aaron, can I jump in real quick?
Yeah.
One of the things I think it's a responsibility of every club is that you don't want to be surprised. And the first time you hear about any of the things that are going on at convention should not be at registration or at the delegate floor.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
That's absolutely for sure. We all hate surprises. Well, I shouldn't say all hate surprises. Certain surprises you don't want to be privy to. So no, but that's a good point. You want to make sure everybody's prepared. You want to make sure that everybody's on the same page going into the convention, and even for that matter, if you have multiple members going, with all the great workshops that conventions have on the Friday / mostly Saturday, come up with a game plan. Talk to your delegates and the people going, and say, here's what we really would like to accomplish. Which one do you come up with a game plan. Make it work for the members going to get the information that's available at convention to bring back to the club, only to make the club better. So
absolutely.
Go through those things. I mean, looking at the roster of sessions that Capital has, there's some great sessions there. Even club coaching, how to help clubs grow. I'll probably sit in that one because of our responsibility with Melissa Atwell there at the Mental Health Moment Las Vegas Kiwanis Club. That business card must be about this long. But I do want to say this to my friends here in Capital District, and in the future, if time allows me to come back to Cal Neva, I am throwing in my hat to volunteer to present at seminars. With my experience doing what I've done now for 21 years, social media, what works and all of that, I want to come and present at seminars, just like I did at Cal Neva a couple of years ago. Before we moved, that was a blast. So Capital District, I know Chris Bryant, who is running for a seat 2 years down the line at this year's Capital. I know I'm going to talk to him about it, but please, I want to come train. I want to take this 21 years of useless information in my own brain and make it useful to somebody else. All right, I want to share with you the proposals that Capital will be looking at, and sort of the same, the lieutenant governor position and governor. So I want to read it as follows. Proposed bylaw amendment number 1, it's the elimination of club president prerequisite for lieutenant governor requirements. The proposal is from the Kiwanis Club of Weirton out of the Capital District. The rationale, the amendment would strike the requirement to have been a club president from the district bylaws. Note, the Capital District policy statements already contain a requirement for any member running for lieutenant governor to have previously served as a Kiwanis Club officer, and this requirement is not part of the standard form of Kiwanis District bylaws. So, if passed, here's what would happen to the amendment here in Capital. Each lieutenant governor shall be a member of a club in the division from which elected, and the following words are to be stricken. Shall have served as a Kiwanis Club president. Those words, shall to president, will be crossed out. So it will now read, each lieutenant governor shall be a member of a club in the division from which elected and shall have and maintain a satisfactory criminal history background check as provided by district policy. However, if there is no member from a club in a particular division qualified and willing to serve as a lieutenant governor, a member of a club in another division may serve. So can you clarify that in English for me, please? I think it sounds to me like they're just trying to make sure that if there's no lieutenant governor within a division, they have the ability to cross lines to another division to pull into your current division. Yes.
Right. It's not striking out the presidency because that's part of the international bylaws. So
Right.
they probably are trying to minimize the amount of words that they're using, and it also allows for remote lieutenant governors.
Okay.
Something that's been allowed in our key clubs for several years, and remote lieutenant governors is allowed at the Kiwanis international level. So they're just codifying that part of the process. I'm a little questioning as to why they're striking out the requirement about being president. So that would be something that when you're at the international convention is asking, why are you striking out anything? It seems like all we really need to do is add the however statement um, about remote service.
So let me give you a scenario where crossing that out maybe applies. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know my history in Kiwanis. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
multiple time club president. I'm a multiple time lieutenant governor in 2 different districts.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what if somebody in Capital District in my division of Division 14 here, no lieutenant governor, and I decide, well, maybe I'll do it, but I've not been a club president in this division.
Mm-hmm.
With them striking out the word shall have served as a club president, would that allow someone like myself with my resume, if I wanted to help out and become a lieutenant governor, even though I have not been a president within this district, let alone division,
Mm-hmm.
would that change in the bylaws allow for someone like me to be accommodated to become a lieutenant governor here?
You're already eligible with the way the bylaws are set up right now. And
Because
so
I was a
that's
past president.
as a past president, that statement,
Right.
because you were a past president, doesn't matter where, and
Okay.
and being familiar with your bylaws, it doesn't change it. If they take it out, it doesn't change it at
Okay.
all. You are eligible within your division. You are in good standing. You're a past president, so therefore you are eligible. The only time that you might question it is being either a vice governor or governor elect. I
Okay.
think there are some residency requirements by district. Not all districts have residency requirements. So if I were to move to, for example, if I were to move to the Southwest District and join another club in the Southwest District, if I meet their residency requirements, I'm eligible to run for vice governor in Southwest without being a president, lieutenant governor, or any other role within the Southwest District because
Got it.
their rules are accommodating that way. But that's why it's always important that every club leadership that you know your bylaws, that you know your
Mhm.
policies,
Mhm.
because people will make stuff up when they think that, oh my goodness, something's going to happen that's special. So it may be tradition, but if it's not in the bylaws and policies, no.
Okay. Here's the second one, and it says it's elimination of club membership in Capital District prerequisite from governor, governor-elect, and vice governor requirements. The rationale. This is actually being presented by the Capital District Board of Trustees. It says this amendment would strike the club membership prerequisite requirement for the candidacy of governor, governor-elect, and vice governor from the district bylaws. Note, the Capital District policy statements already contain club membership requirements for any member running for these offices, and this requirement is not part of the standard form of Kiwanis bylaws. So it would read each candidate for the office of the 3 positions, a satisfactory criminal history record, and verified by Kiwanis, being crossed out, shall have been a member of a Kiwanis club in this district for at least 6 years. That would be removed and shall have completed a term. So basically it says, if by striking those lines, criminal background conducted, verified, and shall have completed a term as lieutenant governor in this district as the only requirement to run for governor, vice governor, or governor-elect. Thoughts?
Well, I'm wondering what other people think on this one. And part of it is because this is the kind of thing that you don't want an international trustee getting in your way of what your district does because
Okay.
they haven't resided in your district. And so I can say from my experience in Kelniva,
Mm-hmm.
we put in some very clear residency restrictions because that's all that's doing is setting up the residency restrictions. Because, you know, in Calneva, we didn't want someone moving in from the middle of nowhere who has no idea that there are over 400 clubs, 300, you know, so many thousands and thousands of key clubbers and all of that, and say, hey, I'm going to run your district, but I don't know any of y'all. And so we put in some residency restrictions to make sure that people know what they're getting themselves into.
Okay.
So in your district, it may be based on an individual, you know, that's trying to climb up the ladder really fast. Or it may just be that they're cleaning up their bylaws and making them consistent with other districts that they look like.
Fair enough. I think our next club meeting for the Chesapeake Kiwanis Club is Wednesday the 5th. This is an open invite to anybody in the area who'd like to come check out the Kiwanis. 7 to 8 a.m. Pop's Diner, Greenbrier Parkway in Chesapeake. Listen, I don't know what I've stepped in this year, but I've had a great year bringing in new members to the club. And I've got like 2 or 3 more coming this upcoming. I probably, well, I don't want to say how many, but it's been a good year of invites and people checking it out and people falling in love with Kiwanis. And I'm very grateful for that. So, okay, we are, would you believe it? We're down to about 7 minutes. So you want to change gears to some of the other stuff for a moment or two?
Let's do it.
All right, it's time for Melissa Atwell, Mental Health Moment of the Week. Here you go.
Hi, I'm Melissa Atwell, founder and CEO of the Mental Health Moment. And the Mental Health Moment tip of the day is to take into consideration the word of active listening. Sometimes people will come to you knowing you are a safe space to be vulnerable and open up to. And sometimes all people want you to do is listen. Say nothing, just be there for them in that energy, in their presence, and listen to what they're saying. Remember, take a moment for your mental health.
All right. Thank you, Melissa Atwell. But active listening is 2 words, not 1. That's all right. We'll teach you to count on Wednesday when I'm out there. By the way, this upcoming Wednesday, if you're in the Las Vegas area, 5:30 p.m., the new Mental Health Moment Kiwanis Club of Las Vegas is meeting for their 2nd time this Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. at the WWDB-TV studios on North Rancho, Suite 120. With me being in town visiting my father and stuff, I will have the opportunity to see everybody in person. I can't wait to see everybody in person and be part of that exciting club. And by the way, have you been seeing the emails that I've been circling you on with the folks here in Virginia Beach? Okay.
It's this amazing stuff going on, and I had hoped that he would be a guest on our show, so we're kind of sprinkling.
No. I wasn't talking about the walker. I wasn't talking about him, but I'll get to him, I think, later on. But regarding the my Virginia Beach membership that we're going to try to switch over to the new club.
Yes.
So we're going to need some investigating there because there's something a little off track there. But anyway, but yes, I'm glad you mentioned that. There was a gentleman who's walking across the country for mental health wellness. He came through Chesapeake yesterday in the rain. And unfortunately, I tried reaching him and we could not connect to get him on the show, but I will continue to work on that. And this morning, I sent you a little video via Facebook this morning. Please check it out because it's something I want Melissa to take a look at, called Ping Pong Fundraising. Gentleman, his name is Ken Lees, and it's all based on 2 things. Supporting those with Alzheimer's and dementia, believe it or not. There's medical evidence showing ping pong helps the thought process and mental health. And as soon as I started meeting with this gentleman, I immediately thought of Melissa. And so I would because he would love to take the program out to the West Coast. He's got vendors that brings ping pong tables and paddles. So I think it's something we can definitely do out there. All right. Are we ready for Val's wow moments?
We are.
Let's do it. Here's Valdo. Hit it. Take it away.
So last night, Grantville Allied Gardens in San Diego had an amazing club meeting. And so John Crawford sent me a little clip, and I'm not sure if we could be able to show it, but it was such a wow moment. And it was also a wake up call to me. Because normally we bring in all of these interesting presenters to our club meetings. We'll bring in the mayor, and they'll talk about what's going on. We'll bring in someone that's talking about the court-ordered appointed advocates for kiddos. We bring in these very serious topics, and usually presentations are not interactive at all. But the Granville Allied Gardens brought in a local robotics team into their club, and they actually brought their bots with them to the club meeting, and they asked for people to be able to work, be a part of the process. And my mother volunteered to be a catcher for a robot that throws a ball. Now, mom's way past her eligibility for baseball, and a good thing, because her catching was really questionable. I'm sure off camera she probably did some catching. But what kicked in for me on my wow moment was that mom is over 80 years old, and she got so excited interacting with these students. And she called me and goes, "This is the best Kiwanis Club ever." Think about in your Kiwanis Club to bring something that engaging for your members, to give that engaging experience, what that would do for the morale and the feeling of amazing in there. And so John just put in there, John Crawford said, "Mama Flo is awesome with that robot."
Who was teaching who? Was Flo teaching the robot, or was the robot teaching Flo?
I really think it was all about the robot to the Mama Flo. I really, really do. But it's those kind of things that make Kiwanis special. So
absolutely, that's awesome. That is awesome. The interaction like that is terrific. All right, more stories to come next week. As always, I can't wait. And keep those stories coming. If you can't post them on the Kiwanis Connects page, don't worry about it. Just tag Val or I. We'll pick them up. We'll reshare them onto the Kiwanis Connects page on Facebook so that all of our folks around the world can see what's going on as well. All right. Since we don't have a featured guest today, Chuggy, in her infinite wisdom, posted a joke in the theme in the chat room. So why don't we go ahead if you would like to share it, and we'll make Chuggy's joke the featured joke of our guest for today. So go for it.
I normally don't get to tell jokes, so it's awesome that Chuggy put it out there, and it's within our theme. So why don't casinos ever get lonely? Well, it's because they're always dealing with people.
Oh my God. Thank you, Chuggy. All right, John, let's hit it. It's time for Aaron's Bad Dad Jokes of the Week. All right, these are bad dad joke, gambling, Las Vegas themed jokes, since I'm coming out there on Monday, which, by the way, I will be live in studio in WWDB Studios on Friday. So I will be doing Kiwanis Connects from John's studio at 9 a.m. Pacific time, but it'll still be 12 o'clock East Coast time. And then I'm going to do Aaron's Hour next week from the studio as well. Frank Pizarro will be my guest in Las Vegas. Been a while since I've chatted with him. So, all right, here you go. What's the difference between a poker player and a dog? What's the difference between a poker player and a dog? In the long run, the dog quits whining.
Okay.
So, along the lines of Chuggy's joke, why don't poker players ever tell secrets at the table? Why don't they ever tell secrets at the table? Well, because someone's bound to call their bluff. That's why.
Okay.
All right. For all you music lovers out there, what's a poker player's favorite type of music? What is a poker player's favorite type of music?
The accordion? Polka? No. I'm embarrassed.
No, don't be embarrassed. It can't be any worse than the actual answer. It's the shuffle, of course.
The what?
The shuffle. Don't you know? Don't you remember the shuffle from like back in the day? Why do blackjack dealers make terrible comedians, just like these jokes? Why do blackjack dealers make terrible comedians? Because their jokes never hit. That's why. Just like these jokes. See how perfect that worked? Last but not least, why did the dealer quit mid-hand? Why did the dealer quit mid-hand, you ask? I can't deal with you anymore. That's why he quit mid-hand. That does it for this week's Bad Dad Jokes. I'm never going to do those again because they were really, really bad. Well, Andy put cute in the chat room for one of them. I don't know which one it was, but nonetheless, that does it. All right. That's it. That's the end of this week's show, Doc Val. Let's wrap us up and get us on to Dodge.
Well, there's so much going on and so many opportunities. I just want to make sure that everybody knows when you're a Kiwanian, you can attend any board meeting. You can attend any convention and conference. You don't have to be an officer to be a part of all the great things that are happening around the Kiwanis world. If you pay dues, you are welcome. And so I hope to see you at one of these amazing district conventions over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot to choose from. There's a lot. I'll be in Annapolis in a couple of weeks. All right, a couple of programming notes tomorrow. Aaron's Hour. I'm going to be re-airing last week's show where I had Dave Kaysen, fitness mechanics, fitness machine technicians. We're going to rerun that show, but at 12:30 local time, 12:30 p.m. to 1, Cox Cable Channel 4, Voice of 757, part 1 of 2. We're going to be airing half of the press conference that I hosted back in April, announcing the Women's Professional Basketball Invitational Tournament, the first of its kind, coming here to Hampton Roads at Chartway Arena, right dead center in the middle of ODU's campus, which is where Nancy Lieberman of basketball fame made her home for many years and was a champion. That'll be part 1. And then if you missed that episode, don't worry. It'll be up on the Facebook page on Monday. And then the following week, while I'm away in Vegas, all these V cities are killing me now, part 2 of that press conference will be aired, talking all about the Women's Professional Basketball Invitational Tournament. That tournament, April 6th through the 11th, 2027. You can go to WPBIT.pro. That'll be 1 week next year prior to the WNBA draft. So we're going to be looking at the future of WNBA basketball players. All right, everybody, with that does it for this week's episode of Kiwanis Connects. As always, thank you for watching, and be kind to everybody. Why? Believe it or not, we're all we have, so enjoy it while you can. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time right here on Kiwanis Connects. Thank you, everybody, for watching.